Okay, so we got Prevention Magazine here. On the cover, it really draws you in with best natural remedies, 4 ways to outsmart diabetes, one simple habit for a longer life. My mom and I were both misdiagnosed, plus be healthy for the holidays, and relief is just a grocery tip away. And of course, on the here it says a new test, early test for cancer, December 2021. Okay, what I really wanted to share with you, because World Kindness Day, I forget when it is, excuse me, but I think it's the 13th, don't quote me. But look, you can Google it as I say it, is coming up. And I really thought this would help with the holidays coming in to make us really appreciate what we're given and appreciate the person who gives us anything. Okay, and it's prevention part and it's the pulse section. It's the power of giving. Did you know that all the time you spend present shopping and gift giving is actually good for your health? It's true. Research that shows that giving in various capacities, whether in the form of a physical gift or through volunteering, can increase feelings of happiness and decrease stress. And all these emotional benefits can help your physical health too, by positively affecting things like blood pressure, which could help you live longer overall. The healthy body vibes extend to recipient as well. They feel like the gratitude for your thoughtful gesture, which has been linked to similar benefits. So next time you swipe your card for a perfect present, the wellness will flow. And I think that's inspiring enough, right? But we're moving forward in the wellness section. Lifting one another up is powerful as any fitness routine or healthy meal. Here's why being kind matters more than ever for your body and for our future, by Sarah DiGago. How kindness changes us. Kindness isn't simply a happy face, a cherry on top thing. Along with the cooperation and collaboration it fosters, kindness is one of the main things that makes it possible for people to live in communities for thousands of years. It is also going to be needed to address huge challenges that we're facing today, from climate change to racial and economic injustice, says Kelly Harding, MD, PH, an assistant clinical professor at the psychiatry in Columbia University Irving Medical Center in New York City. In fact, she says it might be the critical issues facing our entire world right now. Kinder communities, one that allow us for fair access to things like housing, education, health care, helps us live longer, healthier lives, says Dr. Harding, who wrote a book on the topic, The Rabbit Effect, Live Longer, Happier, and Healthier with a Groundbreaking Science of Kindness. The COVID-19 pandemic laid bare this paradigm. Disadvantaged communities have faced much higher tolls from deadly virus. On top of that, research shows that for us individuals, our bodies work better with our lives are filled with more empathy and kindness. It doesn't make us immune to our stressors and dangers around us, Dr. Harding explains, but the kindness helps us do better mentally and physically with whatever illness or other adversity shows up. Remember that each small daily choice we make either nurtures our well-being or aggravates stress. What being kind does for your body. It makes sense that when someone acts kindly towards us, we benefit. But research suggests that practicing kindness also significantly affects our own well-being. Even accounting for differences in factors like age, gender, education, personality, and mental health, studies show that the kinder behavior is linked to having fewer health problems such as heart disease, sleep disorders, and hearing loss, and you live longer. The research is piling up. Studies have found that being kind can help lower your blood pressure, your anxiety, practice helping behaviors, even lessen symptoms of depression in people who had lost a spouse. Experiments show that doing something kind for someone is more likely to boost your mood and lower your stress than doing something for yourself. Plus, a recent sweeping review of data included nearly 200,000 study Donna's getting tongue-tied. Participants found that the prosocial behavior, things like donating money to charity, volunteering, altruism, trust, and compassion, was linked to better physical health and mental health as well. So what makes acts of kindness so powerful? Each small daily choice that we make either nurtures our emotional well-being or aggravates the stress, and what helps or hinders our physical health, Dr. Harding says. Practicing kindness is helping on the side of that equation. We know that kindness triggers a neurochemical response, explains Wagesh Ugasha, and I apologize, doctor, if I mispronounced your name, but he's a professor of psychiatry and behavioral neuroscience at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center and the editor of the Health and Wellness Medicine. Oxytocin and dopamine, which is two feel-good hormones, get released, and a cortisol, a hormone related to stress, falls. And there's evidence that the kindness affects our genes too. The DNA that we're born with is the blueprint for our cells as they replicate over the course of our lives. Diet, exercise, and smoking all affect the blueprint that gets translated into the new cells. Now, whether the genes get linked to heart disease or cancer get activated, but kindness and other social factors in our environment impact the process as well. Dr. Harding says that studies suggest that the feeling of feeling socially isolated, not having someone who shows affection to you, and feeling discriminated against, all examples of unkindness, hamper it. The kindness-empathy link. Kindness and empathy are separated entities that are closely related. Kindness is doing something to help someone else without expecting anything in return. Empathy is feeling with what someone else is feeling. Being kind and feeling empathetic don't always go together, explains Jamil Zaki, the PhD, an associate professor in the Department of Psychology at Stanford University, who researches the neuroscience of how people connect with and or care for one another. Sometimes we act kindly out of obligation, giving money to a niece's school fundraiser, and sometimes we feel empathy and we don't act on it, hearing a distressing news report, but continuing one's routine. Yet empathy can be a strong motivator for kind behavior and make kind actions more powerful, says Zaki, also the author of The War for Kindness. For example, Zaki's research has shown that people tend to feel happier and less stressed after they've done something kind for a friend. And those that benefit are the greatest on the days they also report empathizing with a friend. Other studies have found that when people give to charity and think that their money has a positive impact, the emotional benefit of spending increases. Volunteering seems to have a similar effect. In one study, people who volunteered tended to live longer than those who didn't, but not when those who volunteered for self-oriented reasons. When it's difficult to be kind, say when you're facing with someone opposing political view, empathy can help. Taking a moment to recognize whether another person is coming from instead of jumping to conclusions and reacting can help you connect and make it easier to be kind. Remember, being kind doesn't mean never getting angry. Kindness is treating others with dignity and respect, even when we disagree with them. It doesn't make you a pushover, Dr. Harding says. Kindness takes a serious courage. We're going to read the little parts here that they have in boxes, and then I have a little section in the back which helps with prevention for the family. So that'll help everybody out there who's got a big family. Can you be kind or too kind? Kindness without self-care creates burnout, and it's common among people in caregiving professions, like doctors and nurses who continually take on emotional strain of others. But burnout doesn't happen because you use up too many empathy or kindness chips, Dr. Harding explains. Usually people burn out when they don't have the time for self-care practices, and that lets them recharge and focus on their own mental well-being. Here are 5 things to help when we often fail to do. Take breaks. Nap, schedule vacation days and truly disconnect. Spend time outside. Make time for wellness activities like meditation, exercise, or hobby. Now here's how you can build your kindness superpower. Kindness is not a personality trait, Zaki says. It's a skill you have to work on continuously. Dr. Harding adds that if we inevitably fail at being kind sometimes, but here's how you can follow these tips often so you will be on the right track. Pay attention to how well you play with others. Did you react too quickly? Did you yell because they yelled? When this happens, pause and notice it. See it their way. Consider the situation from the other person's point of view. What led them to do what they did or the way they do? Rehumanize the other person. In digital interactions, consider the person saying or typing the words. Take a pause. Rushing makes us feel stressed, which makes it difficult to practice empathy and kindness. Make a habit. Didn't mean to hit that. Make it a habit. Schedule time to volunteer, call a lonely friend, or do a nice favor. Okay, now here's what we're going to do for the prevention family. This is how you can personalize your family game night. These fun activities help you celebrate what's unique about your crew, whether you're gathering with extended family, connecting over Zoom, or just waiting to make sure your relatives stay near and dear to the kids' hearts. By Mary Giles. A scavenger hunt. Make a list of family themed items for players to find, then give each person or team, for large groups, a copy of the list, then bag. You might include something like something that reminds you of Grandpa Joe, and an object Aunt Haley would use in her job, and even a story from Grammy. Technically, the first person to collect everything on the list wins, but half the fun is sharing what each person brings back from the hunt. If you're playing remotely, allow a set of amount time for scavenging, then host a video meeting for everyone to share what they found. Who am I? Write a family member Write family members' names on pieces of paper. Have each player draw a name and without looking at it, without tape it to their forehead so everyone else can read the name. And then the players walk around and ask each other players questions to figure out who they are. Am I an adult? Do I live in Illinois? Am I obsessed with manatees? Just for example. Trivia relay. Divide your group into teams. Write family trivia questions for each team on slips of paper and place them in piles on a table. Your questions might include things like who plays ultimate frisbee and who has a dog named Penny. To play, one player on each team runs to their pile, reads questions out loud until each can answer the one, and then runs back and does a tag for a teammate. The first team to answer all their questions wins. To play remotely, have the teams alternate answering the questions. The team that answers the most correctly wins. And that's all I have for you from the Prevention December 2021 magazine. Great magazine, chock full of information. Be sure to pick it up. I'm going to start on Woman's World. It is a huge magazine because, of course, it's like the week of Thanksgiving. So it's going to take us a while to get through it. But I want to get at least a good start on it. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. One more to go for right now, and then I'll see you later.